Hey everyone, so a lot of people have been asking me how the Leafs can get tougher and some of those big names out there they could acquire, like a Tyler Bertuzzi, like a Tom Wilson. Well, I'm here to give you the hot take, delusional, unrealistic scenario of the Leafs acquiring a bunch of these guys. And it starts with a hot take trade with the Minnesota Wild. There's been reports that the Wild have had, some interest in Marner in the past. They were maybe one of the teams sniffing at the offer sheet once upon a time when Marner's contract negotiations were happening. This is the kind of massive return you'd have to look for if you're trading a guy like Mitch Marner. He's got a couple years left, obviously. Wild fans and other fans might think this is a lot, but when you look at a late first-round pick, a couple seconds, and your best, most consistent piece you're getting here is Eriksson Ek, maybe you take out Addison, maybe you take out one or two of the second-round picks. But I think the structure here would have to be a guy like Eriksson Ek with term and a first-round pick. And honestly, I love the potential of Ryan Hartman. You need guys with bite, Ryan Hartman on your third line. Tom Wilson for 2 first-round picks, Nick Robertson and TJ Brody. This is a massive overpay from Toronto, but we just saw how much Tampa gave up for Tanner Jeannot. Tom Wilson's a stud in the top 6, one of the rare breeds in the NHL. I think you have to give up this much if you're Toronto. And, Washington's not just going to toss this asset aside. I think if you're the Leafs, the only reason you make this trade, or the only way you make this trade is if you're keeping the core 4, or if you're getting significantly better across your lineup, you just need to make sure Tom Wilson comes with an extension because it can't be an all-in kind of deal. This has got to be a long-term play. And if you think about it, the first-round pick from Boston, just think about this as like Brody, Robertson, Sandin, additional pick for Wilson. It's a big package to give up, but look at the lineup the Leafs could have after this. Another trade they could make, Brett Pesce to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Leafs got to give up another first-round pick. They just got in that Marner deal, Liljegren, Hirvonen, and the Hurricanes are known to take contracts back. I think if they got this kind of haul for Pesce, they'd be okay with it because they could just buy out Matt Murray. It's not costly to buy him out, or they could just have Matt Murray as one of their 2 goalie options, which is also possible. Hannafin, just get it done. Toss a couple seconds or toss a first and another draft pick, and maybe Timmins, Holmberg, younger players. You get a Hannafin piece. And guys, look at this potential lineup. So not a lot of cap space, just over 200,000, but look at this lineup. You signed Tyler Bertuzzi in free agency, Tavares, Matthews, Bertuzzi, Nylander, Eriksson Ek, Tom Wilson, Ryan Hartman. You re-signed Ryan O'Reilly, Matty Nyes, Lafferty, Achari, Corey Perry in free agency. Guys, this is a big-time playoff lineup. If you wanted bite, this is the kind of lineup you need. Tell me this lineup's losing a tough 7-game series. There's no chance. This team, I'd be confident would come on top in any tough battle. Look at some of the guys in this lineup. Bertuzzi, Wilson, Hartman, O'Reilly, Achari, Perry. Absolute shit disturbers across the board, and you still keep top skill guys with Matthews, Nylander, and Tavares. Eriksson Ek, such an underrated 2-way guy. I think some of these trades are very unlikely, but I think there's got to be a direct mindset to go towards this at the very least. Try to make a couple of these deals. And then if you got guys like Hannafin and Pesce, look at this top 4. Riley, Shen, Hannafin, Pesce. And then McCabe and Addison, or if you keep Liljegren, to me, that's so much better. You bring back Samsonov and Woll as a tandem, sign Samsonov to a 2-year deal, 3.5 or 4 mil per. I think this is the play for next year. Get a couple defensemen. Trey Living's likely to get a couple defensemen because he's a big defense guy. And if anything, ignore the first half of this video in the sense of unrealistic versus realistic. I think what you're looking at, folks, right here is semi-realistic. In terms of the top 4, bringing Riley back, obviously signing Shen, re-signing Shen, and getting 2 top 4 defensemen in Hannafin and Pesce. I think both of those are realistic. Get extensions done with those guys. Lock up your top 4 going forward. I think this is the play. McCabe shouldn't have the stress and responsibility of a top 4 role. I think he's a perfect bottom pair guy who can step into a top 4 role when needed. I think this right here, the goaltending and defense, this is somewhat realistic. Maybe even drop Addison into this lineup. Your bottom pair to start the year is Giordano, McCabe. They might have to have a tough conversation with Giordano. We will see. But this right here, I think somewhat realistic.